volcanic Galapagos Islands straddle the equator some 600 miles west of Ecuador, which owns them. Our cruise yacht Isabella II is anchored in the bay off the barren island of Baltra, where the airstrip is. After a short briefing, inflatable pangas take us out to the ship.
What happened to the Isabella I?
During lunch, Isabella moves north to Seymour Island for our first shore trip.
Take a look at
Waymarked paths define where we're allowed to walk. This is our first encounter with a blue-footed booby, although in this young one the blue colour is not fully developed. Sea lions abound. They are distinguished from seals by their external ears. Frigate birds are all around us.
Everywhere you look, there's something going on.
A mature blue-footed booby poses for the camera. Our first sight of a marine iguana. In the evening light, we're among a crowd of frigate birds nesting a short distance inland. The males have an inflatable red pouch on their fronts.
Hi, remember me? Yes. Hey, buddy. That's the color. This color.
See the color.
As the sun sets, we're picked up by the pangas to return to our ship. This is Celso, our chief naturalist. During the night, we cruise south to Española. This is a mockingbird. Water is very scarce on the islands, and they have learned that tourists often carry water in their rucksacks. The beach master is a dominant bull sea lion who parades up and down, staking his claim to his territory. Nearby is a large mass of marine iguanas. They periodically squirt salt from their noses, where it is crystallized after extraction of water. A male lava lizard, and now a female. We must watch our steps carefully to avoid treading on the residents.
You see, the Nazca buoys are right there on the cliff. They are the heaviest buoys you lock here on land. Now, inland, that will be very complicated.
A Nazca or masked booby.
See the beginning of everything right there.
This is an albatross.
Yes. A young albatross.
The waved albatross has elaborate rules of social etiquette.
We have worked with albatrosses. Okay, you please don't move. Just stay where you are, so that way you don't scare them.
The moves are almost like a choreographed dance, or perhaps a martial arts display.
Yes. The organic one. So,
And then hard trash.
we have regulate last Friday. I saw a baby.
When they put their bills up, it's like, God. Ready.
An albatross taxis out onto the runway prior to takeoff. He waits for clearance from air traffic control, and then he's off. Undercarriage up, and he's airborne. Overnight travel to Floriana. We join the captain on the bridge as he navigates us into a bay.
Solo 10.
The yellow warbler. Pelican takes off,
And then that provides a chance to the boobies to go and get the
and a booby goes fishing. A short walk inland takes us to a lagoon of flamingos. Two flamingos are sitting on nests. These are sandpipers. This is a finch's nest. And this is a Galapagos daisy. We return to the ship. The double-handed grip is used for safety. Today's trip is an all-day one to Santa Cruz to visit the Charles Darwin Research Institute. Here there is the giant tortoise breeding centre.
How old are these? Oh, they're all this year's babies. The light blue are from Good Island or Española. You don't see much here, right? Yeah. You know, if you like to go, you know, you can have cameras at them. The photos that these animals are so special. I'm wondering, what do you mean? Not everyone has a giant tortoises. Yeah, this is Papa. Yeah, Papa. Sure. This is Papa. Yes. It's going forward. Well, he's got a big tail. Is that a good drink, man? How long can he stay underwater like that? Keep his face in the water. About 10 minutes of water. Whoops.
Land iguanas are less common than marine ones.
That's part of it, yeah, that's the trick. Yes.
Darwin decided that the 13 species of finch found on Galapagos were probably all derived from a common ancestor. We take the short walk to the island's bustling main village of Puerto Eora. After lunch, a bus takes us further into the highlands to see some tortoises in the wild and in pouring rain. We head north overnight to Genovesa, the home of many birds. These are swallow-tailed gulls. Preening a chick on the nest. A male frigate in flight. You can see its red chest pouch. Now a female. The beachmaster exerts his authority. The Sally Lightfoot crabs get out of the way. So we return to the ship for lunch, where the redoubtable Pepe greets us with a concoction of tropical fruit juices. After lunch, we climb up Prince Philip's steps for a walk along the top. Here's an unusual situation. A booby is attempting to care for a baby frigate.
Well, it's a healthy baby, so and then the baby know who the cargo is.
Presumably it's not the dad here. No, it's getting a lot of the nest.
It's out from the nest, but it's close to the nest.
Oh, I see.
Okay, it's not really that far away from the nest.
We return down Prince Philip's steps for our panga ride back to the ship. Canapes signal the start of another delightful evening. The fairly bumpy passage tonight takes us west to Fernandina.
Yeah, and then I woke up and then I was back in the water, so I was okay.
Many people are up early on the bridge as we cross the equator, passing Isabella on our left. Head bobbing by iguanas is a way of competing for territory. These are Galapagos flightless cormorants. Nearby is a lava heron. The serried ranks of iguanas are females watching the male.
Get my shiny moon in a second on your
An overnight passage again takes us east to Santiago. A Sally Lightfoot crab, and then a black crab. A marine iguana feeds on seaweed. Under a stone in a pool lurks a moray eel.
What kind of eel is it, Sophia?
I'm not sure which of the morays, but it's like a brown speckled moray.
This is an example of a lava tunnel with the roof broken open. This is a broad-billed flycatcher. We return to the shore, where everybody can do their own thing for a while. The latter part of the morning is spent cruising round the north side of Santiago. The ubiquitous frigate accompanies us. The afternoon starts with a panga ride around the spectacular Bay of Bartolomé, a tiny island to the east of Santiago. For our final trip, we climbed the 365 steps up Bartolomé to see the famous view from the top.
Hey, did you take the elevator?
Hey, we've been up. We're on our way down.
Because, you know, it takes a longer or yes. But like this guy was in a wag. That could be a different story. Now you after a year. This is the best shot of the
This is
week.
your big chance.
There you go. Take it or take it.
These are our three naturalists.